see you again, and probably you hear that's my last year as seller in Tucson. And after so many years selling here in so many different places, the Desert Inn, the Executive Inn, the Clarion, the Westward look one time, the main show 3 times, in the Tucson City Center, before InnSuites. So many places, so many years, so many friends, so many things that finally I arrived to my top, and I believe that that's a good time to end with my part of dealer selling in Tucson. I will come back, of course, to buy and to see friends and to share, things with everybody. But that will be my last year in this room and my last year probably as a seller in Tucson.
Okay.
We never know. But for a while, I am sure that I will not repeat the experience to sell here.
All right, and I would love to see some of your top minerals because I know you always have those.
Okay, as you are passionate by the pegmatites, I am sure you will like that GMS. Have you seen the termination?
Yes, multiple termination, large, very fat crystal, very stout, gemmy.
Very thick.
Yes, yeah. Very unusual from Irongo.
This is from Irongo.
Namibia.
This is not from the Sbacco Moon, the mile number 72. This is from the other locality, but they are quite jammy, and I like a little bit the color of those more than the other ones.
Yeah.
The other ones have kind of shadows of yellow.
It's fantastic. It's quite a rare mineral composition.
Yeah.
Suggests that it would be very common, but it's not. So it's very special conditions for formations. Near
Correct.
the aquamarine pockets could be just 1 meter from an aquamarine pocket.
Correct.
That's an old classic piece.
All classic pure argyrite from Fresnillo. So you know Fresnillo mine was from the 16th century, stopping and working, and this seems to comes out in the 20th century, 950, something like this. And the size, it's really large.
That's a serious crystal, very large.
Some reflect on red, and good size.
Beautiful. And
Have you
still
seen
have
it's a
it.
floater? And some
Yes.
small porites on the corners, that's typical from Fresnillo.
Very nice.
Big monster.
That will disappear quickly, I think.
I believe. This is one of the novelties of this year. Milpillas never stopping. And this year he's giving more cuprites than ever.
Very
some
red.
sharp.
Nice matrix. That's
Yeah.
a larger one.
Yeah. Kristalle is standing up, display well, and the color is really good, really red.
Very good.
Yeah. So Milpillas never stop to give us surprises. For example, another surprise from Milpillas are those new Bornite coating porite. In fact, they appeared in 2013, but they hold because they don't know what it is.
Yes.
And recently, Marcus Origlieri analyzed that, and he found out the Bornite coating the porite, and it is on the market currently, and even always something different from that.
Yeah, and it
The
adds
porite,
to all the other beautiful species that have been
Yeah.
found. So that's
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that is something.
One of the probably best pieces from that mine
That is really, really beautiful.
from ever.
Malachite pseudomorphs after azurite. That's beautiful. A wonderful group, large crystals. Very good sites.
Standing up
Cabinet.
quite well. The form is nice.
And solid piece. Very nice cluster group.
The presentation is nice. The
Yeah,
shape,
very
it's
nice.
every
Just
rosette
perfect.
in one side. It's like a kind of oriental design,
Yes,
like the
that's-
pagoda or something like
Yeah,
this.
Lovely, lovely piece.
And it's very the luster and the satinated appearance. It makes nice because
Yes.
sometimes that pseudos are a little bit dull. But this one is quite nice, yeah.
I spot another old classic Mexican piece here. A beautiful boleite. Large crystal, and it's not very common at all nowadays to see them nice crystals. And maybe you can get the small ones, but this is a beautiful group. Really nice.
The small sparkling crystals of boleite too, not diaboleite, not cumengiite, unfortunately.
Yes.
But nice small crystals of boleite.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, large
whole
piece.
vein section here. That's very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, this year one of the main novelties of the show was a new locality for gall. Not really new, but the finds of good galls. The locality is Willow Creek District, The name of the vein is R.J. Roberts
And it's in Nevada.
in Nevada. And it is a very silver-rich gold, so we can say electrum variety, like the Romanian ones. And the appearance and the color, it's quite similar to the classic ones from Berespatak. Even the shape, with the lives, with the octahedral crystal forms coating the lives, liking like a little bit the Romanian old ones.
In a calcite vein.
In a calcite vein, correct, sir.
Very nice. It's amazing. There is no end in the surprises that has come. We've had Huanggang mine, of course, the last few years, but it's continued. Even Nevada gold mines.
Yeah, people say no novelties. It's not true.
No, it's
not true at all.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and we'll see you next year as a guest here.
You will see me even more every day in the patio, walking around.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good to see you.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Peter. Good seeing you again.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Crystal.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
We're doing well.
How has the season been?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
We've gotten some great pockets and we've prepared some new pieces that you guys are just going to love.
Okay, so may we see some of your beautiful things?
Yeah, I'm actually going to show you some topaz and halite, and then I'll get into the amazonites.
Okay,
Okay?
great.
You've probably heard about the halite locality. It was found in 2013. It's been shut down since then, so nothing is accessible. These are the best that we have available, and they've kind of been hidden away for a little bit, so we were able to pull them out, and I think you really appreciate them.
Oh, the color is just amazing. Perfect cubes, beautiful blue and purple.
Yeah, the zoning, it's just so gorgeous. They have a little bit of teal in them as well. And still the sylvites right here, and then the halites so well perched on top.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll show you my favorite ones. This is my very favorite one. So again, this is the best that's really been...
Yeah, that's very gemmy.
Isn't it?
And the color is amazing.
I love the color, and it's so fun how so often people get these confused with fluorites. They'll come in and they'll just think they're fluorites, and I'm like, no way, look at that.
Easy to distinguish, but don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So the color is caused by radiation. And so this one has a little bit more of the purples on the bottom and the purples on the top. And then you've also heard of the famous topaz locality that was discovered by Rich Frederick, correct?
I have.
Great. So we have some of his finest pieces available. These just were finished, and we're really excited to have them. Now you can see there's a lot of variance in color, and it's a little bit peachier to the darker ones. These are probably the two best that we have.
Beautiful, the shape, and this color is really nice. It's deep colored.
Isn't it? Look how gemmy it is on the inside.
Completely flawless, and the beautiful morphology. You see the etching here of the crystal?
I love that etching pattern on the outside. It's so pretty. It kind of reminds me of little icebergs.
Yeah, yes.
Are we going to have any more?
I don't believe so. Yeah, Rich's locality is actually finished.
Yeah, the pocket is finished.
Where he was digging, unfortunately, there was a giant boulder that fell on top of the spot.
Okay.
So he's pretty much not able to access the area anymore.
I was worried about that when I saw the first images from the spot,
Yeah.
And there is another one that seems to be very cute as well.
That one's wonderful.
Very nice. You can see the original crystal face pretty much here on the outside, and then the termination. Beautiful. So those are about 1 billion years old, those topazes.
They're absolutely stunning.
Yeah, these
Very
topaz
nice color.
are that old.
Beautiful, thank you. And then we come back to your claim.
Yes. So, of course, what we specialize in, what we spend the majority of our time digging is the Amazonite and Smoky combos. And I have a couple that we've pulled out in the last couple of years that were just finished. That's probably my favorite piece, just because it's very difficult for us to have that Clevelandite be so sound and structural, because typically it starts to crumble very quickly, and it's hard to maintain that. And we don't often get the Amazonites and the Smokies right in the middle.
No,
So this is
a solid good piece.
Yeah, very, very rare piece for us to find.
And here is another one with a lot of Clevelandite. That's really sweet also.
And I like this one too. The balance is really nice, how it just comes up in the center, and you have that little Smoky right in the middle.
And the
Sweet.
elbite, I cannot stress enough, is very hard to get wet
Yes.
and pure.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you do. Tim spends a lot of time cleaning the albite and trying to get it to its whitest, which is very, very difficult.
Usually it's an off red that you just can't clean.
Yeah, very difficult to get
I
it
think
out.
I mentioned that. Yeah, we have a lot of the iron and the dirt and the manganese can be on the Amazonites and the Smoky quartz, and you can imagine when it's in the Clevelandite, it just makes it that much more difficult to pull out and to clean.
And there was never, ever a clean pocket there without the iron stain.
No, no, you know that. And this is like, if you pull up in this little Smoky over here, look how
see the little one?
clean this is, though. It's so gemmy, and that's what the Crystal Peak Mining District is so well known for, is just having those gorgeous, dark, gemmy, smoky quartz. Tim actually just finished this incredible piece, which is kind of like the Clevelandite Smoky Amazonite piece, but just a little bit bigger.
All right.
So I'll
May I
have him
a look
grab
at
it.
that?
Yeah.
Yep, I have this one last major piece, and this is also from the Icon. This is the largest Clevelandite, Amazonite, and Smoky quartz specimen that we have found of any quality. And quality is the defining factor.
That's a lovely combination. The color is beautiful on the Amazonite, and the contrast is perfect. And
Yeah.
you got the Smokies.
We get that wonderful contrast, and there's actually quartz on this one. 99% of the big Clevelandite plates are just the Amazonite, and it's almost always a lesser color. The Clevelandite actually held together. Normally it falls apart and breaks apart into a gazillion pieces. The Amazonites are just gigantic on this thing. I mean, if you look at this one, I mean, what is that? So, you know, almost 5.5 inches right there.
It's aesthetic, though. I mean, I just love the way that it all kind of comes into the center. And again, you have those Smokies right in the middle, and it's very pleasing.
Yeah, composition is great. That was a great pocket. So this is now the same pocket.
This is the same pocket. This is the same pocket as the Icon pocket, and we got what I like to call big major plates. And there were only, out of the size of this pocket, there were 4 big major plates, and this is one of them. This is the last of them. And then I have another find of really good fluorite from New Mexico, from Cook's Peak. My good friend Philip made the discovery of these, Philip Simmons. And, you know, the color is a little hard to see, but
Green inside,
Yes.
deep purple.
green and deep purple, and then this calcite right here.
Very nice. So is this a prospect, or is it an old mine?
I believe it's an old mine
Yes.
from out there up at Cook's Peak, New Mexico.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always great to see you. Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good morning, John.
Hey, hi Peter. Pleasure to see you again today.
Always
How are
great to
you
see
doing?
Very good. One of my favorite field collectors, a serious guy.
Oh, hey, right back at you. We've had some wonderful times out in the field making discoveries, haven't we?
We have. So you got some new stuff from your part of the U.S., Northwest?
Yeah, we were mining this year over in Chalice, Idaho, which is where my rat's nest claims are. And there we produced some of the finest mordanite and hewlandite specimens that we've ever recovered from the claim, which is ironic because we've actually finished the last of the working area. There'll need to be a lot of development. And I'm not sure we're going to go to that next step with the claim.
All right.
But we found some fantastic material. Can I show you a nice piece?
Of course.
This is a wonderful large specimen that we have here in this display case. It's approximately 14, 15 inches across, about a foot tall, and it shows the delicate tufts of the mordanite needles rising in little hillocks. And then there's a calcite that's interspersed in there, maybe a couple of hewlandites. When we discover these pockets, we're mining with an excavator, and it dumps lots of material into the pocket. And as you can likely imagine, retrieving dirt from these delicate crystals is very, very hard. But when we're able to recover good pieces, it's typically the roof plates that we're recovering. And that's what this is, material that is away from that dirt being dumped on into the pocket. And then if I'm lucky, I can go ahead and recover these beautiful, delicate specimens. These crystals are actually so soft that you can actually pet them. They'll wiggle and move,
they will, really?
and they're that soft and delicate.
Okay.
This is the finest of the material that we've been able to recover from the claims since back in 1998 when it was originally discovered. And we're really very thankful for these types of opportunities to find these types of treasures.
Yeah, so they're quite big rocks. You can see the mother rock here, and you can see the layers of calcite. Any other U.S. finds this year?
Well, we were busy. We dug down in Peterson Mountain, but I've got something here in the back I'm hoping I might be able to show you. Let me go ahead and grab this little tray of happiness here. I was down digging right before the show down in Southern California is my want.
One of my favorite pegmatites in there.
And boy, did we have a wonderful, wonderful day. This is material that has come from a nice big pocket that we mined at the Himalaya mine. Beautiful tourmalines associated with quartz crystals. This came from a pocket that was about 2.5 feet by 4 feet long.
Sweet. Really, really nice.
And
Beautiful
just
groups.
beautiful material. We've done a little bit of reconstruction in the field, like on the specimen here that I'm holding. These will be professionally prepared now, and then at that point they'll be cleaned. And if I know me, I'm likely going to keep the majority of these and put them into my collection as things that I have found and dug myself.
Yeah. I've dug this pegmatite a few times. Those are very, very nice and large, very thick crystals.
The largest crystal was about 5 inches long by about 1 3/8 inches. So this kind of size only about twice that and a little bit more in length long. But it was phenomenal to be able to get these types of beautiful just matrix specimens. They're just phenomenal. The quality is very high on the materials, and it made me very thankful for the skills that I've learned in collecting for a number of years so that we didn't damage these beautiful, exquisite treasures.
Always
You're
great
welcome.
to see you.
A pleasure, Peter.
Have a
Thank you
great
very
show.
much for your time.
And let's go out field
to...
collecting soon.
I'd like that very, very much. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
How you doing? I understand you really have quite a program that you're promoting and developing and so forth.
Dave, let's take it a different direction.
Okay.
I want you to come up and say, Jens, I understand that you have some pretty exciting new changes to the Colido system, or just say to your system.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
because we want to just focus on the new changes to the system.
Oh, very good.
And So
Okay.
I want you to appear as if you're already familiar with this.
Right, exactly.
Okay. All right.
As if you have an account.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Okay. Hey, Jen, how you doing?
How are you doing? Fine,
So you're
thanks.
set up here, and I understand you have some updating on your process.
Now, what you're talking about is our so-called Colido talk.
Okay.
So you see it up here. There's a little sign.
Okay.
If I type on here, then you see, okay, these are my contacts.
Okay.
And now I can communicate directly with my contacts, with people I invited and I'm
Very
connected
good.
with. So, for example, if I go to this contact, then you see the complete history. It's like you know it from your iPhone. So set up 30th of January, 31st, so you can type a message in here. You can say hello,
Unbelievable.
send it, and you see, okay, hello. And what you can see here, it's not only a messaging system with where you can send text messages, but you can also send your complete sets and objects that you have in Colido.
Very
so, for
good.
example, here I send a set to this contact. So just let me see, demonstrate how it works. So I go to the sets. You see, I have
Wonderful.
grouped the objects in a set. So I just take the set and send it, for example, to Bryan Swoboda. So now I go to the talk,
Could
go
you
to Bryan Swoboda, and you see here
Yes.
the set I sent to him.
That's fantastic.
And it's all in Colido, so you don't have to send emails or Excel sheets or whatever.
Very good.
You just do it here. And in order to show you how it works, so this is my personal account. So I go to Colido Talk, for example. And I see I have a message from Colido.
Yeah.
So this is how it looks like when you receive a set. So this is the set I sent here. And the Tucson.
Yeah.
And now I go into the set, and I see all information about the objects that he has in Colido now on my iPhone.
Very good. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it makes it much easier to interact and to send information about the objects you have.
Yes.
And so you see it here. You have the identified. So I tap on it, and I have directly all the information from the other guy that sent me the objects. And what you can do as well is not only interact directly to another person, but you can also communicate within groups. So here you have the personal context. You can set up a group, and you can interact with several people at one time.
Wow.
So 10, 100,000, whatever you like.
Yes.
You can broadcast, so you can, as a dealer, you can maybe send objects or messages to several people, and the other they don't see what everybody else talks, but only you see it.
Okay.
And in order to get your friends to Colido, you can invite them. So you type invite contacts, you type the email address. So I could type in your email address right now, send invitation, you receive an email, hey, don't you go to Colido?
Unbelievable.
Interact with me.
Fantastic. Fabulous. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Glad to hear.
So welcome here to the Granada Gallery. It's only 2 houses down from Fabre Minerals International, and it's the first time that we'll feature it in What's Hot in Tucson, and I think it's really worth the time, although there are other things in here than the crystal specimens. So come on, let's have a look inside. Good morning, Rudy.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome to Granada Gallery.
Thank you. I love to see it and show it to our...
Yes, thank you so much. So our concept here at the Granada Gallery is pretty much to pick out the real gems from all the different stone and fossil shows and give them a unique and special platform in a kind of a feel-good atmosphere here in this old arts and crafts style house, and to really highlight the artists and the story behind all of this incredible works of fine natural design. All right. So here in this first room we have pieces from Andreas Roth, who is a master engraver from Ida Oberstein in Germany, and let me just give you a short tour of his amazing works. And
beautiful.
And we're really fortunate to have Andreas here for the first time.
Hello.
Welcome to Tucson. I know you guys did a little segment about him in What's Hot in Munich, and we're really fortunate to be able to present him for the first time here in the United States.
So welcome to the Sunshine State.
So now let me show you one of our highlights in the gallery and bring you to the next room.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
Me too.
I'm very pleased that you're here now, because now we have a chance to introduce you to all our audience and your wonderful cutting work. Could you just tell me and tell us something about the background you started the cutting and the philosophy behind this?
Actually, I started my work 15 years ago, but seriously, it was at 2006 when I took part in the first my first American competition.
Yes.
For me, gemstone is just a feature to express something what I want to say to people.
Yes.
And I created some new designs for gemstones, and I create some symbol in the pattern of facets.
Yes.
After that, I wrote a parable to each stone which explain this symbol to philosophical conception.
Yes.
And this collection, named Philosophical Stone, it consists of 10 stones, 7 and 3 here.
Yes. So shall we start here one end?
This stone, reflection of the great, contains spirals of galaxy. Like a drop of water reflects all world, so a small stone can reflect all galaxy. Yes. The name of the next stone is drop of life. So this is a space. In space, the drop of life is rising. After that, heart of planet. Drop of life formed in planet. Winner, it's a head of lion. On the planet, life rise. Humans and animals. The next one is touching to perfection. It contains a lotus flower inside the stone, and like a symbol of inspiration, of creation, creativity. Through the creativity, human cognize wisdom, and cognizing wisdom, he get treasure. The word treasure is the last stone of these 7.
Yes.
It's steps of evolution from the empty space to treasure. And next 3 stone reflect the spiritual evolution. The first one, birth of the star, like spirit born in the human consciousness. The next one, great sacrifice. It means on the spiritual way, a man must reject the material for the spiritual way. And the last one, mystery of the universe, means like enlightenment in Buddhism or transformation in Christian. It reflects unity of man and cosmos and universe.
It's a marvelous cut. I love this cut, as you know.
Yes, yes.
It's always a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So here in the hallway, we have some of the amazing ammonite pieces from Corite, who were happy enough to be featuring in the gallery. And so here on display, we have some amazing ammonite jewelry done by Alison McGovern. And it's part of the Granada collection where we feature very special and select pieces from fossil art and precious stones every year in the gallery.
Wonderful.
So this is our special exhibition this year. Last year we had the Archaeopteryx on display, and this year this is the Solnhofen room with some true masterpieces from Solnhofen, Germany. Here we have some pterosaurs from the late Jurassic. But the real star of this exhibition is actually the Jurassic drama, which we have over here. And it shows the death struggle of a pterosaur and a predatory fish. And the pterosaur had just caught a fish that you can still see stuck in the back of his throat when it was grabbed by the fish lurking just beneath the surface. And the wing membrane got wrapped around the head of the fish. And together they sank to the oxygen lesser regions of the water, where they both suffocated and ended up captured this way.
That's a beautiful piece, and scientifically very important.
Scientifically very important, yes, because I think there were 4 overall pieces like this discovered, and this one is quite something else.
That is something people really should get here to see.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful exhibit.
So featured in the back we have jeweler and sculptor Wolfgang Watz, as well as Perry Brent Davis and Hendrik Huckel, who we have here pretty much every year. And they're amazing works.
And where are they stationed regularly?
Hendrik Huckel is stationed in Germany, yes. And Perry Brent Davis in the United States and in China.
Okay.
And the rest is made up of the Granada collection, where we have different assortments of pieces every year.
Okay.
Here are some really unique pieces that we got courtesy of Murph's Petrified Wood that you won't see like this anywhere else in Tucson.
Extremely detailed. Sycamore from Oregon.
Yes, and a fire opal from Virgin Valley, Nevada, which is really something else.
Yeah, I see that. Well, thank you very much for showing this wonderful gallery.
Thank you, Peter.
I hope many people will come and see it.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you here.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
see
you.
everything. Thanks a lot.
See ya.
See ya.
Aisha, oh, David.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Boy, this room really has some showy stuff shown
and you
here.
remember him?
Yeah, Arfin.
Arif, awesome.
So anyway, you got new goodies here. I've been going over a few things here, and some are really very important minerals.
Thank you.
So let's have a little tour here and go through and start wherever you want to start over here. Okay. What really makes this so important, it's actually three major things. Okay, it's the crystal and its shape. You have inclusions, but you don't have horrible fracturing.
Right.
And you have beautiful blue color. And then it has matrix. So the whole combination of this is quite unique. I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I've seen a lot of burls. So I consider this a very, very powerful specimen, even though it is in water, clear, and all that. This is mineralogically, this is a great piece.
Well, coming from you, that means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. See, a lot of people, it really is quite funny. A lot of people think they just bend. No, what it is, the piece cracked, then re-healed back together. And it might have been a fissure type of thing where you had several cracks and then it all cemented naturally, and there you have it. So it looks like the thing is literally, you bent the thing. This is a fantastic thing for other reason. It's large and bent. You usually see these in much smaller pieces. Number two, you have lovely blue color to this piece, and terminated, and terminated. So it's double terminated. Then you have the Charl in the break zone, which is very weird how this held together.
When it's penetrated here, and
yes,
here the growth interruption.
That's correct.
Kind of slicing it.
That is correct. I don't know what that brown is. That iron in there?
Probably yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a geode practically of the brochantite with this malachite just all over the outer perimeter of the specimen. This is a very unusual thing.
Very unusual, beautiful color.
Yeah.
Very beautiful
gorgeous
color.
Thing.
And we got this from the Congo, from a person who belongs to that part of the world.
Okay.
I mean, any more direct, he would have to dig it out of the ground himself.
I see. Well, that's a wonderful thing.
People have seen brochantite by itself, or malachite by itself, but seldom a combination of brochantite and malachite together.
Never seen anything like it. Fantastic. This is fantastic.
Yes.
This fluorite here,
fluorite right
multicolor fluorite. That's the largest one I've seen on matrix. I've seen a couple big, hunky-looking things by themselves, but to see a real translucent fluorite, and at least two colors, if not three colors in it. So you can call it multicolor. Very, very unusually large. It's the finest one of this type I've ever seen.
The finest one we've ever seen as well, and we've been working in minerals from this area for a long time.
Absolutely.
So.
Okay, here we have the beautiful indicolite blue. Very hard to get these indicolite. You'll see them in the other greenish and pinkish and all that with the white albite at the base. And I can't say I've seen a large one this big with decent translucency. I've seen them large, opaque-ish more. But to get them with the all-bite like that, wonderful thing,
Beautiful luster, David.
Oh, the luster's fabulous, absolutely.
And then you have the darker blue-green, and this is multi-crystals, if you see the termination.
Oh, yeah, very much so,
And when it's backlit, it's really
gorgeous,
eye candy. It's
look at that. Are you ready for that? Now, usually these Charles come out, they're wonderful, they can be very brilliant and very interesting, but when you start getting combinations of other minerals mixed with they're actually common. This is like a unique thing because you got a quartz crystal here, you got feldspar here, but on top of that, an amethyst terminated crystal. Wow. I looked at this very clearly. It is intact. If somebody made this thing, he's a genius.
You did a good
Other
job.
than nature. It really is something. So yeah, you're congratulated for having a thing like this. And the advanced collectors would appreciate this much more than a nice shiny black one, which are fine. You have to give them their credit too because they're beautiful and then the contrast with the matrix. But this thing is really truly for a master type collector that really wants the unusual. And this is very unusual.
Only four specimens came out. This was the best of all 4.
You see that?
And it was in the collection of a top collector from South Africa.
Okay.
And his name was Uli Baumann.
Oh.
And it belonged to his collection. And it so happened that we had a guest today from South Africa, Kalahari Rocks and Minerals, and he is a friend of Uli Baumann.
Okay.
And when he saw that piece, he says, that's Uli Baumann's piece.
You see
and
that?
nothing has come out before or since that, because some people are saying people are putting it together in Africa, they're creating specimens. There's a lot of talk out there, but we heard it today from Dieter, who belongs to South Africa, who's a personal friend of the gentleman who owned this piece. That this is a very
intact.
rare, and
it is real.
He had owned it, and now we do.
It makes sense that they find them like, I think we can do as well as that. So they're starting to fake them. No, if this thing was a fake, he gets an A+++.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's real.
Now, Dave, we've got something very special to show you. It's very historical.
These are the documentations, like. That's the picture of the mine where this. It's a silver specimen
from Kronsberg. And this was mined when in 18.
It was
in the 1800s.
1800s, but the collection.
Beautiful writing.
And that's the original
1960
labels.
here. 1862. Holy God. 1862 to 1960.
So probably the
collection was in that person's possession.
Exactly.
But they were saying that it was in the 1890s. It was collected, and then ever since it was with this one family until the 60s.
I see.
And this was also in World War I. The collection got damaged, but
in a fire.
This piece and a few others were saved. The rest of the collection.
Would you believe that?
We've got the provenance, all the pedigree papers, and it's very, very historic.
Yes.
And it's a large piece.
Yes.
It's actually a silver. It may not be elegant
silver.
and beautiful looking, but it's...
no, it's an important thing. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying, no. It's a heavily important
and it's
thing.
very heavy.
And the history behind it speaks for itself.
It's 2.65 kg.
Wow. Kilos.
It's 2,650 grams. But you can see all the patina, all the dark edges and where it shines. But let Dave have a feel for it. It's wires and crystal.
Yes, it is.
But to see a piece of history, I think that's really very exciting.
That's very important because it really does have a historical importance to it. If it was just a big silver that just showed up, still great piece. Don't misunderstand. I'm not putting this thing down, but it isn't the greatest thing.
Right.
It isn't like it could have been razor sharp and all that. Oh my God!
Or long, elegant wires.
Yeah, exactly.
And very
all
pretty.
that. No, it's what you say. It's a superb, large silver with a wonderful history.
Right.
The history of this thing is great. Very good. Oh, yeah,
look
at that.
A cluster of aquamarine on a matrix of albite with muscovite crystals.
Yes.
What's unusual, it has fluorite crystals, pink and multicolor fluorite crystals on one end.
Okay.
And pink apatite, if you can see through the mirror.
Oh, yes.
Right at the back, large pink
Reflecting.
apatite crystals.
Okay.
And where you see the separation in the center, it's not broken in the mine where it's separated millions of years
Yeah,
ago.
and explain why it isn't broken.
The reason being is because within this crevice, you can see thousands of other crystals growing inside.
You're absolutely right. That explains it. That's important. So anybody coming in here to look at that, you explain that. It looks just like, and it's a shame it broke when you got it out. No. That's a very old broken. It recrystallized, as you say. That's wonderful. Big museum piece.
It is a museum piece, and the story is that when it was coming from the area of the second tallest mountain in the world, Mount K2, and it was being brought down to us in the city of Peshawar a few years ago, it was put on top of a bus. And for some reason, I don't know what happened, the bus overturned. And this piece rolled off the top of the bus.
Wow.
And it rolled down a hill and fell into...
In a box, I assume?
No, it wasn't a box, it was wrapped
Just
in a lot
wrapped
of
well, okay.
plastic and material and sponge, and nothing happened to it.
Wow. How far do you think it rolled, did they say?
It rolled quite, because, coming from Gilgit, when you come down, you look at the river, it looks like a thread. So you know that you are thousands of feet above sea level. It's very high.
Amazing.
You need oxygen to breathe.
Yes.
But this piece, just before it came down to Peshawar, the bus had a mishap. Thankfully, nobody got hurt.
Good.
And nobody's wearing a seatbelt, by the way. I don't know if that's a good message to give or not, but they were safe. And the piece rolled down and it fell into soft mud.
Unbelievable.
Into a little ditch.
Wow.
And when they took it out, thankfully, it was perfectly okay. It was a bit dirty, but it was okay.
It was funny. The guy, he said that when the bus flipped over, and he first checked himself that he was fine, and then he was worried about the specimen. So he ran out and he was looking everywhere. The box wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then they found it a few yards away in a ditch.
Inside mud.
How long did it take? Like a day or two to find it, or
No,
anything?
in a few minutes, like 20 minutes or something.
It was nighttime also.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, David.
Thank you so much.
you.
Once again, you did it again.
Thank
you pulled
you,
it
David.
over.
Thank you.
Congratulations for you too. How you doing?
Fine, very fine, Dave. Thank you very much.
And congratulations. This is your first year doing the Tucson show as far as a dealer?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
I've been here last year as a visitor to see what it's all about, how it's around, and I was really lucky enough to get a very nice spot here.
Good.
And put up my minerals.
Yeah. See, this is nice. Bryan and I really appreciate seeing new blood get into the hobby. Let's just start with this tourmaline, because it's bent like, and that's a break and reheal, but I like the way you explain that. So go ahead and explain.
Well, that's a very nice tourmaline which was found in Assad, Kashmir, in a hardly known mine, actually. It's on the Indian border, Indian-Pakistan.
Yeah.
And what you see is a pink tourmaline that has multiple cracks.
Yes.
And the cracks have rehealed with green tourmaline.
Right.
So you kind of get a watermelon tourmaline, but in a bit different shape. And it looks a bit like
it's just like a
this might be for Tucson. It looks like a cactus, which is so famous
there you
here.
go. A saguaro. Yeah, that's cute. I like oddities like that. I understand that you have a story about that in relation to the big one that came out that Cosner ended up getting, then I ended up getting. So go ahead and spiel off on that.
Yeah, well, you had this very famous big phosphophyllite.
Yes.
Probably called the phosphophyllite.
Yeah.
And there was a man who bought this in Bolivia, who brought this from Bolivia to Cosner.
That's correct.
And he, at that time, used to be the geologist in charge of Cerro Rico.
Okay.
And of course, with the big phosphophyllite came a bunch of smaller ones.
Yeah.
And I ended up making good friends with that man in Bolivia, who is still living there at the age of 86 now.
Wow, okay.
And he changed his flats last year. So he sold his flat in the city center of La Paz and moved farther south to a bit lower down. And when he disassembled his bed, he found a box of phosphophyllates.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Of basically splinters, about a bunch of cutting rough under his bed.
Okay.
And he was ready to hand it to me, to sell it to me. And I had some of these pieces cut, which give these really beautiful quality cut pieces.
Beautiful.
Which are almost impossible to come by.
Oh, yeah, very difficult.
And there were very, very few entire crystals, like this one, that's the best out of this box.
Yeah, see what's good
It's
about
a-
this is this combination of this twinning, and it's a perfect thumbnail.
It
It's
is, absolutely.
a
And it's
perfect
absolutely pristine. It's
Yeah.
all the termination is intact.
Yeah.
It has absolutely wonderful color.
Yes.
It has a little bit of matrix attached, so it's actually anything
Very
you
good.
can wish
Has
for.
everything you want, and a perfect thumbnail. Very good. Okay.
I was in Huanuni. Vivianites is a bit hard to get. They don't come out very frequently. Sometimes they come out in 20 centimeter crystals, but this find, which was from beginning of last year in Huanuni, was exceptional in two ways. Must have been two pockets. One pocket's with these, extremely fine luster, the best color you could even ask for. Sitting on a matrix of actually, it's a silica, it's like quartz, gel.
Good. Good.
A goethite layer on it, then you have siderite with a little bit of pyrite, and then sticking these wonderfully lustrous transparent Vivianites out.
Yes.
And there was a second pocket which yielded something even more interesting or surprising. Have you ever seen a Vivianite having a phantom inside?
Never. Never.
If you have a look at this, it's a
Wonderful.
wonderful crystal on the same matrix, and you have a small Vivianite growing.
Yeah.
This was overgrown with siderite, and again overgrown with Vivianite. And they get marvelous luster.
That's wonderful.
It's
Never,
really
never even
wonderful.
heard of a thing like that with a phantom. And a perfect miniature.
Huanuni mine is also famous for having ludlamites.
Okay.
And they have very, very nice wheel-type ludlamites. And if you see this, the special thing is not only the ludlamite, the special is this is on fluorite.
Yes.
I've never ever seen any fluorite from Huanuni mine before.
I see.
And it's a really nice floater fluorite.
Yeah, it sure is.
It
Yeah,
could have
look
a
at
bit
that.
more color. You see a bit little internal color zoning.
Yeah.
A few pyrite sparkled on, and then this perfect spray of ludlamite just sitting on top of the fluorite.
And you've never seen it on fluorite like this before?
Never before.
Wow.
And I've never even seen any fluorite from Huanuni before.
Oh, I see.
It is in the, you find in the records that there is fluorite, but
Yeah.
I've never seen a crystal.
Oh, extremely rare is what it would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let alone have that on it.
I came across an old miner in Oruro who had a wooden box with specimen, obviously a very old wooden box, with with a writing on it. I'm afraid he was not willing to sell the wooden box, but he would sell me some of the contents.
Oh,
and those are these things here. This is pyrargyrite from Kolkachaka mine, which is famous for its pyrargyrites. This must have come out in the 20s or 30s.
Okay.
And the story behind this, that these pieces were in the collection of one of the co-owners of the mine at that time.
Oh.
And the mine was owned by the famous Simon Patiño, who practically owned all of the minery in Bolivia.
Wow. How
And
about that?
if you have a look at it, it's a bit, you see that it's aged.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as I said, no labels. But if you look through it,
Oh, yeah, see the
you can
red?
see a really, really beautiful red
Oh,
glow
yeah,
inside.
very much
It's a
so.
wonderful
Yeah.
pyrargyrite piece.
And this type of red, you know, this is pyrargyrite, and if it's real bright and has this coating, then it's more than, could be proustite. And of course, the crystal has
It's getting
it as
to
well.
proustite,
Yeah.
but there is no proustite known from this mine,
Yeah,
from
that's true.
Kolkachaka
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
But I've shown the proustite to the miners there,
Yeah.
just on my smartphone.
Yeah.
And you know they speak Spanish down there.
I see.
So it was like pyrargyrita, pyrargyrite, and it's like, what is the other thing there? And I said, that's proustite. And then suddenly all of the miners, they were started laughing, ah ha ha, prostituita.
Would you believe that? That's funny.
Yes, this is another very old piece, which is definitely 40 years or older.
Okay.
Again, without any old label. This comes out of the famous Siglo XX mine in Potosí department, which is
Okay.
Yayago would be the city where it is.
Yeah.
And this is a quartz matrix.
Yes.
The little greenish things here are from the type locality. This is the type locality pyrovoxite.
Very good.
And the whole thing is coated or is encrusted partly with another rare mineral, which is childrenite.
Very good. Which one is the children?
The childrenite are these brownish things,
Yeah,
sparkly
good, yeah,
things over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And here you have these very
Oh,
nice
yeah. See that
greenish pyrovoxite,
Oh,
a very rare
okay.
phosphate. And
Yes.
in good crystals practically only found at siglo XX in Bolivia.
I see.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck for the future and
Thanks
keep
a lot.
up the good work.
Thank you.
Hi, Mahesh.
Hello.
How you doing? Hey,
Good, how are you?
How are you? Well, you got a beautiful room of Indian minerals, and I'd like to have you explain these, and there's one after another, but some of the highlights I'd like to go over with you. One that really caught my eye because the light is just hitting it right is this fabulous stilbite, and this color is so gorgeous. Years ago, the stilbites were mostly whitish and so forth, but the colors, that stuff, and I've seen other ones too, but that's gorgeous. It's big and it's on the matrix like that. It's beautiful. So did that come out just recently?
Yeah, this is a recent from Aurangabad quarries, and I guess this is one of the best color that you can be finding in stilbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see the color of stilbite somewhere goes in pink on the pink side, but you see this is a very nice dark orange color stilbite. Yeah, these are mesolites recently found from Nagar. This is Nagar quarries. They have found this. They have found this in a well. The speciality is they have found this in a well from Nagar district, and these are also very, very rare specimen. It is said Ahmednagar district.
Okay. Fabulous.
These mesolite also had a combination of steel bite. You see there is a steel bite here.
Yes, yes. Good, yeah.
But
you're
like
right.
often this color of steel bite is not very much on the red side. This is also a rare form combination with mesolite and steel bit on it. These are the white steel bit that you see on it.
Very good. Okay.
That's a very gemmy calcite.
Yeah.
And as very few times you find calcite coming with a combination of scolecite on it.
Yeah.
And the cubic one here makes it more and more rare. And this one is from the very, very quarries near Mumbai.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen in that habit, crystal habit. Yeah, bring that out, yeah.
Yeah, this is common.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, typical still pipe shape. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's beautiful. See, it's really a pleasure at Tucson. This is where you expect to find the killer minerals, and it's really nice. And did you say it's your first trip here to Tucson?
This is the first time.
Fantastic.
We've been exhibiting in Munich and St. Mary for the last 10 years.
Okay.
And this is the first time that we are being in Tucson. In
Very
German
good.
Show, and we are very happy to be with you.
Yeah. So, good luck.
you,
Have
sir.
a good show.
It was great having you.
Thank you. Suraj, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome to my room number
Yeah,
190.
I was just walking around. We're looking for things that are unusual and fine. I just stepped in here. This door was closed a few days ago, but you have some very fine things in here.
This is Powellite. We can say is a king of mineral from India.
Yes.
It's very rare to find this mineral. And with scolecite and such a big size is extremely rare.
That's
the color
true.
is very nice.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen these blades of this mineral that big.
and this is from Yevla, near Nasik from Maharashtra.
Okay. Very nice. I'll take it. I won't drop it, all right. Okay.
This specimen I preserved specially for Tucson.
Oh, very good.
And I own this specimen 6 years before.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, it's a lovely thing. Now here, is this a slight amethyst color or smoky?
Yes.
It looks a little amethyst, yeah.
This is amethyst quartz, and this is fluorite. It's a new locality we find in India. Normally fluorites were only from Nasik, but this is from Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
It's a very nice quality, big size, and very fantastic color.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's normally fluorite is cubical.
That's
but
right.
Only from India it comes like a spherical balls.
Very nice. And you have several of them in here.
Yes.
Oh, look at that thing. Isn't that wild?
Stilbite was never so beautiful before.
Isn't that something? Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Mir, how are you? Again, saw you the other day. I was in the room enjoying your beautiful exhibit you have here, and there's one particular mineral that really caught my eye immediately for a reason that most people wouldn't understand.
Thank you.
And that's this giant specimen here of beautiful smoky quartz on the matrix. And just that alone, it's a major specimen. So in addition to having the beautiful smoky quartz, it's all perfect and everything, you have a bonus of having the topaz in there. So most people, when you have the main unusual rare mineral, it's usually topaz with smoky quartz and feldspar or albite, what have you. In this case, you would never do that because it's too important with the smoky quartz. But the bonus in this case is the topaz. It's just the reverse. You rarely see that. Yes. Now, if these were much larger, like twice as big, then you would say the topaz. Now, they're fine and they're not damaged. Yes. But the thing of it is, the smoky quartz are so overpowering. That's what it would be. It would be smoky quartz with albite and topaz, or smoky quartz with topaz and then albite, on albite. But that's an unusual specimen for that reason. And what's good about it, it's all pretty much perfect.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations on your pieces.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chris,
hello, Dave.
Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you
Welcome
too.
aboard.
Thank you.
You have a lot to tell us, and here you're a dealer now. So go ahead and tell us and what you've got.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the first time I ever exhibited as a dealer was in 2014 in Munich, where I met you guys. And then I came here to Tucson last year, and I had a small special exhibit at the main show. Then I did Munich again, and now here I am for the first time in Tucson.
With a whole inventory of minerals only from Greece.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic. So let's have you give us some tips on some of the rare stuff and what you're really proud of, because I'm not an expert on all the different species, especially from Greece.
Well, what I have here is it's a big selection of minerals from all over Greece.
Yes.
The main locality is Lavrion, and it's got so many different species. There's about 400 different species, and a few type locality specimens as well.
Wow.
This one is a cadmium-rich smithsonite from Lavrion. Well, smithsonites with this color are very hard to get from Lavrion because these came about 30 or 35 years ago, and they are gone ever since. And they're usually small, so such a big piece
very good.
Is quite rare.
Because usually the smithsonites are green, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, green
what
or
is
bluish.
This looks like a metallic something in there.
It's calcite, and there is some coating underneath it. So it looks like black and metallic, but it's actually calcite with a coating underneath.
I can see now that you can get a little translucency out of it. Well, very good. Okay.
Well, I also want to show you this aragonite. This is a common mineral, but to get a piece like that.
Look at that. Okay. From that locality.
From Lavrion too, yes.
Neat. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's also a very old specimen.
Yeah.
I don't know how old it is. It came out of an old collection.
Okay. That's fantastic. Because you see similar stuff from Mexico from there.
Yes.
But for Greece, never seen anything like that from that locality. Very good.
I also want to show you the anabergite because Lavrion produces the finest anabergite in the world.
Okay.
And this is a very fine example.
Very good.
And the light green material is also anabergite, but it's another variety. It's gaberite, magnesium rich.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Ooh.
Well, this is a pseudomorph of romanitsite after gypsum.
Oh.
And there is a manganese oxide coating atop of it, which gives this orange reddish color.
Very interesting.
You can see the mark.
Would you believe
of the crystal.
that? Look at that. I mean, talking about a different looking specimen. I love the color. Very good. Now, is this rare? Is there a lot of it, or
there have been a few finds at the past, but good and large pieces are by far the most rare thing you can get from Lavrion.
Wow.
Yes.
So this is a highly important piece.
Oh
then.
yes, it came out of an old German collection.
Okay.
I bought it a few months ago in Munich, right after the show, and it was like my favorite.
Oh. Extraordinary thing. Caught my eye immediately when I looked in the bottom portion there.
What I also bought from this German collection is this pseudomorph, which is also romanicide after selenite.
Okay.
But it's somewhat different because it's got all those minerals on it.
Oh, look at that.
We got conihalkite, azurite, brohanthite, and cuprionadamide on it.
Wow. Never seen anything like that. I mean, it's something you wouldn't say, well, this looks like it's from Mexico or Sumev or Bisbee or what have you. It's very different.
And you can see the imprints of the crystals.
It's unbelievable. That is really interesting. So you're very happy to get this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Look at that.
That is also
very blue. Yeah.
type locality specimen from the
okay.
Serpieri mine.
Okay. Beautiful thing.
And also, Greece produces the finest serpyrite in the world.
You see that? So this is an extraordinary example then.
Yes.
Yeah. See, once again, I want to mention that Greece, very few collectors have an assemblage of all kinds of minerals from Greece. This is really a rare opportunity to see this, and I'm learning myself. I mean, I don't even know this mineral. And here we have one that's about as good as you've seen, would you say?
Well, it is as good as it gets.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. That's great. Okay, Chris, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
It. Take care.
Thank you.
Hey Dave, how are you?
Hey Daniel.
Welcome. Nice to see you.
Coming back again.
Yeah, welcome to Tucson, or welcome to our Tucson.
Yes, that's right, because we both live here.
Sometimes.
So what do you have this
I
time?
got tons of great stuff. Good to see you.
Oh, yes, have wonderful things to show us.
This is all our Keystone Gallery
That
we
is
do
correct.
every year.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of beautiful things in here for collectors that are looking for bargains and
very good
fine pieces that are at affordable prices.
Yes.
Some particularly attractive material this year.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I always enjoy going through this and seeing these beautiful handmade artwork.
Yeah, Lawrence is taking space with us this year, and he's got this wonderful horse.
Look at that.
That's incredible.
Wow.
It's like, you know, the wood base, then with the metal just strewn like that.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty fantastic.
He is really good.
He is really good.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Opal?
Fantastic.
It is
yeah,
opal.
it's an opal.
Wow.
It's a flawless piece of Mexican opal, and it's I think over 5,000 carats. It's
incredible.
Crazy. And if you look at it, you can see there's a woman carved in the back. There's her hair and her bosom and her legs, and one leg's bent like this.
And just look at the flow of that, the way he did that stand with the lady. Yeah, the guy's really an artist.
He is. He's great.
Fantastic. My God, look at this muscovite.
Yeah, this is great for.
That's a wonderful thing.
For a pegmatite mineral, it's really cool. The muscovite with the white albites surrounding it.
Never seen anything like that.
It's really fun.
Wow. Was it a big pocket or?
You know what it was? It was a big pocket. There was a good amount of material. Not a lot of great material of fine quality. A lot of it was broken.
Yeah.
But there was probably a good 500 kilos recovered from this find. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about a year ago.
Wonderful.
Here's our little suite of miniatures. We're still setting up some pieces. There's a couple of spots missing, but
look at that little jewel thumbnail.
Isn't that fantastic?
My God, that's fantastic. Water clear with mimetite balls with it.
Yeah, little really
perfect
red
thumbnail.
mimetite balls from Rowley.
Killer. Just look at this.
And here's another wolfenite. That's great for
that's
Congo.
very good. Fantastic.
Super geometric,
It
super
sure is.
color.
The Congo, they produce those thicker crystals as a rule. Yeah, look at that. I love that. Because most wolfenite, you know, is pretty flat and everything, but that's beautiful. The
Absolutely.
color. Yeah.
This is a real popular case for us. So this is more displays, more cases that we have here in our front room.
It's just unbelievable. I can spend 2 days just looking at this. And the variety of material you have here.
Yeah, we have a good, strong inventory.
It's
Nice
wonderful.
quality throughout. It's fun to share with people, and we get a lot of business because of that. Because
That's
we have
right.
such a variety of material in such a high level of quality
You got it.
consistently.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, come. I'll show you
okay.
the vault room, and then we'll look at some stuff that I have specially put away.
I love this, how you have that backlit. Look at that, how beautiful that tourmaline is. Isn't that a gorgeous, a lot of translucency for such a thick crystal. You don't, in pink that is.
In pink,
You
yeah.
do not see that translucency in a big pink crystal that you could even get any light through it.
And you've got the super geometric siderite.
Yeah,
the
look at
brilliant
that.
luster. And then the pyrite and the sphalerite, super combination piece.
Yeah.
People love combination
This
pieces.
is fabulous. Look at the size of that.
Yeah, that's, I think, the biggest demantoid I've ever seen.
Never seen anything like that.
It's almost 2 inches across.
Oh, it's
Maybe it is 2
unbelievable.
inches.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fabulous. Okay.
Over here we have this amethyst.
Look at
Just
the
look
color.
at the color on that.
See, no wonder they'd say they're so popular.
Yeah? Just the color is just
Look
boom.
at that fluorite like that. They get that water clear of those Pakistani type. I haven't seen a large one so gemmy like that.
Super
Now, they may be
pink.
gemmy, but they have a frosting on the surface or something like
Right.
that.
It's got a great luster. And I like this tourmaline right at the
Beautiful.
very last
Look at
top. You
that.
see that little lavender termination?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, just a very thin lavender color. Wonderful.
And we've got the great quartz here.
Yeah, isn't that a wild
Just
thing?
a common
Just
thing,
goes- yeah.
but super aesthetic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, let me show you some of the stuff we have in the vault.
Okay.
Got some great stuff in here.
Good.
Start off with this quartz from Arkansas.
Yeah. That a beauty? And you get them gemmy like this. Look at this.
Well, that's what's amazing. It proves the theory of a cleavage in quartz.
Exactly.
So most people think that quartz only breaks in a conchoidal way,
Yes.
but it actually has a cleavage plane.
Yes.
And normally what you'd see is this would break in the pocket.
Yes.
This piece would fall off and
That
become
is
a
good.
shard.
Yeah.
And just be one of these weird oddball things. But
Right.
it broke and got stopped
Yeah.
and recrystallized before it actually dislocated entirely from the bottom piece.
Yes.
So it actually shows the cleavage plane in quartz, which is
Wonderful.
very unusual. Very hard to cleave quartz if you actually tried to do it on
Yeah,
your own.
really. Yeah.
And then this is pretty impressive. One of these tanzanite crystals.
Oh, for me. I couldn't see the color. And I thought, oh, my goodness.
You can see the red here.
Fantastic. I don't remember seeing a bigger one.
No, I think this might be the biggest one in this quality.
I don't remember seeing, even poor quality.
Even poor quality.
This is wonderful, and it's so big. Holy cow.
Huge crystal.
Oh my God, look at this. It was totally, totally disgustingly good. Look at this, the cluster.
Five
And, you
crystals
see
sitting
little ones and like that. And not only that, the color, the arrangement, gemminess, matrix.
That's a special thing.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Beautiful color. See, the matrix ones simply didn't exist. If you saw it in kunzite in matrix, it was a clay, hardened clay material, never with hard rock, quartz crystals.
Yeah, these are totally unusual. I mean, for Urucum in Brazil, this locality produced, I don't know, it was a huge pocket, as you know.
Yeah.
There were tons of crystals, but In Matrix, I think there's like
Brazil.
2 or 3.
I'm glad
if
you
that,
mentioned
and
that.
it's by far the best one.
Daniel, I'm glad you mentioned that because I've always known kunzite from Brazil, just the kunzite. They don't come in matrix. I've known that for years.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. No, that is unbelievable for matrix from that locality.
Yeah.
You expect it in Afghanistan, but
So we have in here first cassiterite.
yeah, look at that. Looks like it's machine made, precisionally.
What's great about it is look at the transparency.
Oh yeah, look at that thing.
Cassiterite doesn't usually do that.
Yeah.
And for cassiterite to do that, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've seen it in small pieces, so-so, but to get this quality and translucency, you have zoning in here too.
Yeah, the
it's fabulous.
twinning is
everything,
great.
Everything. Yeah, look at the twinning in that.
So here's one of my alien friends.
Oh, yeah, get these in this size. I've seen them kind of big ones, but a fabulous small one.
Isn't that great?
Fluorite. Look at this thing. It's almost like eyes. Weird. Look at that. Shows out. Look at how jammy it is when you.
Yeah, you can move your finger behind it.
Oh, that is something. I've never seen one of these in a small size like this. Very rarely see it, period.
Yeah.
And this is as good as you'll ever see, this zoning like this.
And then he has his Asian brother from Yaoganshin. I've never seen that habit of style from anywhere else before until I saw this piece. And as you can see, it's the same exact pattern.
Very much so.
Except you have clear in where the green is and purple where the dark is. So it's really cool. And you have a little
quartz crystal in the back there.
And that's Yaoganshan mine in China.
Fantastic.
And then we have over here, we have a little Japan Law twin.
Okay.
With wolframite.
Yeah. This is the twinning right here.
And then it's a total floater, upside down. It's got crystals. It just was...
Unbelievable, sure. Yeah. It's all there. Yes, totally complete.
Pasto Bueno, Peru.
Fantastic.
This is great because you don't usually get that sort of level of quality.
Look at that.
In that color. The luster is just outrageous. And the shape is fantastic. And for purple octahedrons,
I mean... Unbelievable.
You see pink octahedrons, you see green octahedrons.
Yes.
You don't often see that level color of purple octahedrons.
That is correct. That is correct.
You know, they've produced other little pockets of different fluorites and this sort of shade, but I never saw one that even came close to this as far as quality. This is one of these Brazilianites.
Yeah.
From Leonopolis.
He said, oh, this is nice. This is fabulous. Oh, this is nice.
This is nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Alexis, can you get me the other Brazilianite? The one that's in the box in there? I want to show that as well.
Yeah, sure. What I like about this is the isolation of all the sprinkled crystal. You don't see that. Usually it's this and that like that. But look at this. The clustering like that.
Yeah, and I like the contrast set off with the
contrast,
white.
Absolutely.
With the albite. That's a good rock.
Absolutely. Fabulous thing.
And this is a Dalnogorsk axonite.
Wow, isn't that an aesthetic thing?
Isn't it great with the little fan right across the top?
Oh, yeah. Talking about having character. Holy cow. Axonite.
Axonite from Dalnogorsk. It's a very old piece.
Wow.
It's probably... It's at least 30 years old.
Okay, yeah, when they're finding good stuff out of there. Wonderful.
Look at that for...
Isn't that wonderful, the contrast?
Amethyst from Jackson's Crossroads. Isn't that fantastic?
That's beautiful. What's it, where is that? Maine?
Jackson's Crossroads in Georgia.
Georgia, okay. Because they're getting good, 3 localities in that eastern part of the United States. This is wonderful. But I haven't seen them with a nice druzy quartz like that. It's very different.
Well, that's what makes them the contrast.
The contrast.
With the little quartz crystals
Absolutely,
all around.
absolutely. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and let's not talk about all the Sumeb minerals that you had back in your time that we don't even see anymore.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah. Look at that. Smithsonite, pink, sharp crystals. Very hard to get this color and get it, period, today. This is
and a decent size. You know, it's a good size piece.
Wonderful. Well, it's got all, nothing but quality.
So this is from the Proud Pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now this is your mine?
This is Pedinera, yeah.
Wow. Look at this thing. Disgustingly gorgeous. Look at this.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. I love that, the way they shoot all over the place. Isn't that amazing? Look at this thing.
You should hold it over here in front of a case.
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic?
Oh, it's just unbelievable. There's no mine in the world that's done this clustering and shooting here and some of your other ones and everything. I mean, it's just fabulous.
Here's another one of these aliens in a group.
Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, that's fine with that light. Look at that thing. These are really bizarre.
They're totally
wild. Don't see that in fluorite. Yeah, it's just unbelievable how these. See, you never got these beautiful aquamarines on matrix like that. Yeah, the matrix, but these are gemmy crystals with the Clevelandites. And is this Pakistan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look at this thing.
Nagar.
Speaks for itself. Nagar, yeah. I've been there.
Wonderful piece.
Yeah.
The chrome green of this crystal.
Let's get this in the good light there. Look at that thing.
The glassiness and the optical property of it.
Absolutely.
The little bit of accent of lepidolite, pink lepidolite.
Oh, yeah.
So
it is lepidolite, yeah. Wonderful.
It looks like a gemstone, like it was cut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at this gemmy area in here. Oh, my God. Look at this. I can't believe this. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys later.
Have a nice day. You're
Look
welcome.
at this thing. Look at this. For this type of tourmaline, there's nothing like it in other tourmaline mines.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it has its own character.
Mm-hmm.
Producing these type of unbelievable, what I call them large pencil type tourmaline. That's even terminated too. It's not even broken there. That's all terminated.
This is a Brazilianite.
Oh, for Pete's sake. It was so dark I didn't, it looked like a smoky quartz a little bit until you lifted it. Wow. I've never seen one large of this type of habit. I've seen some small ones, but this size, I had a killer in my collection. This is totally different.
Yeah, the ones that the famous find was what Corrego de Frio, Corrego Frio, and that was the ones that were the most important, and that where everybody gets the name Brazilianite from.
Yes.
And then then the new ones that we showed earlier, that's Linopolis. It's a different locality.
Okay.
And that's very typical from there. And this was produced about 25 years ago. And it was one pocket and just two pieces. One's in a museum in Europe and this one.
I see.
And it's a different color. It's much more saturated green than the other ones. The other ones are a little lemon yellow compared to this.
Holy cow. One big crystal.
Yeah.
That is something. It's all there.
Here's something fun.
Yeah, I'm going to let you tell me. I think I know what it is. Holy cow. It's malachite, but it has another name.
It's malachite.
Okay, it is just these buttons on it. Look at this thing.
It's botryoidal.
Yeah, it's botryoidal.
Careful with your
fingernails.
fingernails.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when with the way it plays with light is just crazy.
Yeah, see, when you move around, look. Do you know, they look like they're inside. It looks like these things with that light. Look at that. It looks like it's underneath the surface, not on the, see that? Mm-hmm. It glows within. Mm-hmm. Wild thing.
It's like chatoyancy.
Yeah, it's definitely chatoyancy. Oh, that's wonderful. I've seen a few of these, but I haven't seen them with these circles.
Yeah.
That's a great piece.
Mm-hmm. That's really fun.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they look like they're down in. Is it maybe it's my glasses?
No.
They look like they're floating inside. Are you ready for this thing?
So this is from an old collection. Yeah, it's serious.
God.
And it's
Thank you
probably
very much. I
about 30
appreciate it. It's very nice of you.
Dave, thanks for coming. Glad you were here.
And it's all perfect.
What's out in Tucson?
Goes all the way around.
Yeah, it's doubly terminated too.
Never, and doubled, it is. It's unbelievable.
It's a crazy thing.
Oh, that is a major, major thing. Let's get it over this light too. Look at that. Look at this. I've never seen a large tourmaline with this combination. It's actually bicolored. You got green in here, but this lighter shade
of pink.
Yes. Yeah. You don't see it like this. You know, you see these things this size with the Brazilian. I've never seen one so big and perfect of a pink crystal, period. Mm-hmm. It's the finest one by far I've ever seen. Wonderful. And this with the rose quartz crystals on a smoky. Isn't that neat?
What's nice about that is the smoky's really fine.
Oh, absolutely. Gemmy. Very gemmy, perfect. It's almost like you made up these specimens and constructed them artistically with a wreath of rose quartz crystals. I mean, I could see some rose quartz, but crystallized rose quartz, gemmy at that, with they're gemmy crystals around this magnificent double terminated smoky. Look at this smoky. Holy cow. Now, is that Swiss?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. Look at this thing.
There you go.
Yeah, got it. Perfect. Just perfect. Look at this thing.
Yeah, it's a great plate,
See,
great
they
size.
grew this at their lab 2 weeks ago. I heard about that.
They were doing that. There was dozens of them. These were about $10 a piece, but I figured I should buy at least one.
Yeah. Look at this thing. Now, when do you think this came out?
Oh, this was collected by Dossi, who's a well-known straller from Switzerland, and it was, I think, collected. God, it has to be about 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy cow, Topaz! Look at this thing. Look at this toe. This is the best large one I've ever seen.
It's one of the great ones, yeah.
It's unbelievable because it has a deep color to it.
Yeah, it's got a great, rich color.
Yeah, a lot of them have just pale, pale blue. Condition's wonderful. Holy cow.
Wonderful thing.
Wonderful. My God. Isn't that a beautiful old jewel?
Yeah, pretty. Color Spanish fluorite.
Beautiful. From Spain.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Purpose.
Yeah, they got them too. Just perfect. Look at that thing.
Look at the color.
It's gorgeous. Beautiful zoning in there too, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And this is unusual. This is a great apatite.
Oh,
super
okay.
geometry
Isn't
from the
that
Sapo
neat?
mine.
Okay.
In Brazil.
Yeah. And what's so nice about it, it's by itself rather than just a cluster of them on the matrix with muscovite. Very, very fine. Unbelievable.
So this was the very last pocketed patent era.
Oh, okay.
And this was the best example from it.
Okay.
Call it Thiago's pocket because he was the one who actually broke into the pocket. He was one of the sons of one of the partners, or he is one of the sons of one of the partners.
Yeah.
And this, just the aesthetics of this are just outrageous.
Unbelievable.
The
Even
blue
with
crystals.
light matrix, what is that, albite in there?
There's some albite in there and some lepidolite.
Yeah.
But these blue crystals, I mean, it
It's
just...
unbelievable, that mine.
Yeah, the mine
No wonder
is...
you tied it up. That's great.
Here's something. that I just love.
Oh, look at that. Do you believe this?
You know, I've had lots of these
Oh,
or seen lots of these, but the quality of this
Look at
one.
the quality of that. I'll just let you hold it because the more handling you don't want it. That's perfect. It's totally perfect.
For a mesolite from India, I
beat
mean,
it.
and what's nice about it is it's resilient. You can actually touch it because it has a whole matrix.
Yes.
So, and that just to have the one isolated ball,
Killer.
it just has a look that's just
Wonderful.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's a super fun
Fantastic.
mineral.
Oh.
And the last thing I'll show you is something fun as well.
Okay. Oh, the Japan Law Twin. Look at
It's a
that.
big old twin.
My God. You know what's so good about it? It's perfect, too. You
Yeah,
see
it's
so
in great
many of them
shape.
with chips in them and everything. That's a fabulous thing.
I wish we had it on the
Pale
matrix,
smoky.
but
This size.
I'm still happy to have it.
Oh, absolutely. This is a killer. Absolutely a killer. It's a light smoky, or am I wrong? Yeah, it looks like a
little
pale smoky.
light hint of smoky.
Yep, it's natural. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Unbelievable. Dumbfounded.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, my God.
So we're here at the Flandrau Center at the University of Arizona, and we have Raquel Alonso Perez from the Harvard Museum, which is the short version of the museum. The real full name of the Mineral Museum is what?
The Mineralogical and Geological Museum at Harvard University.
See, the Harvard Museum is just a lot easier. And what we have here is we have a fantastic exhibit that the Harvard Museum has brought here to Arizona, to Tucson, and put on display here. Now, Raquel, this is absolutely fantastic. We have a packed house in here. Absolutely wonderful. I see people's eyes popping out of their heads. Last year at the Westward Look Show, the Harvard Museum put on an exhibit also. What is different about that exhibit from last year and this exhibit right now?
So last year we focused on eye candy, so just really highlights of the Harvard collection, how you call it.
Right.
This year we are focusing really in letting the people know what's the history of the museum.
Okay.
What are our holdings, where we come from. So basically we have been tracing every curator and see what was his passions, and that a reflection on the collection during that time of the year, during their tenure.
Gotcha. So it's a history. It's a growth of the Harvard collection.
Yeah. So we have history. We have highlights. We have research. I mean, don't forget, Harvard was really pioneer on the research on the sciences.
How can people support you if they come here and they see this?
Yeah.
What can they do to help the Harvard?
So there is a lot of ways to it. I mean, we have people that loan their time, so they come and volunteer for us. We have people that loan their specimens, so we create events and then they come. So loans is great. They also have donation gifts, generous gifts, and that's kind of what I want to highlight. That there is many specimens nowadays we cannot purchase. We don't have the budget because we have a lot to take care of. So we have to pick our own budget. What we want to take care of collections, so go out and purchase or acquire.
Fantastic.
So the way we need help is many ways, either time, donate, gifts, loaning specimen, money.
Money doesn't hurt.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so that's still good with you.
Yes.
Now, how long will this exhibit be on display here in Tucson?
So this is going to be for a year.
For 1 year?
For 1 year. I think we have really a good relationship with Bob Downs. He has been working really nicely. And it's worth to have this done for a year. I have to tell you a little secret. It's a secret, yeah.
Only here.
Yeah.
Heard here for the first time.
So one of the things, I have one strategic plan, but one of the goals is to create this back at home. So what I mean that is create a high security exhibit display at the Harvard Mineral Museum.
Fantastic.
And for that, it's a whole fundraising campaign, but I think we need to display this thing more often. Here, they have the security in place, and we have like the Hamlet didn't make it,
right?
And it's not on display. So that's one goal I want to accomplish during my tenure. So then my stamp is there at the museum.
You leave your mark. So
you go.
a lot of the great pieces from the Harvard Museum are not on display in Harvard. So even if you went there, you would not be able to see it. So if you get a chance and you want to see it, and let me tell you, it's worth seeing. Come to Tucson, come to the Flandrau Center here at the University of Arizona, and for the next year, it will be on display.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Raquel, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Peter. How are you?
Yeah.
Well, actually, good early morning.
Yeah. Good early morning.
Thank you, Bryan.
Before breakfast.
Yes, before breakfast.
So I'm happy to be here again to see you, and you always have good things from everywhere.
Thank
Europe,
you, Peter.
Africa.
Yeah, as usual, I've been traveling. I've been traveling to Morocco, and then to South America in Peru, and then in the European Alps. I've been to France, to Switzerland, and to Italy.
Yeah.
And again this year, luckily, I got some new stuff.
Good.
Yeah, that's a sweet one. I know, usually you have small bugs.
It's hard to find a rosellite that size. Usually rosellite are small bugs, small pieces. Yeah, and it had been a while that we did not see any good erythrite and rosellite from Boisert.
Nice barite.
Yes.
The blue barite, a very nice matrix on that as well.
Yeah, we have seen this new barite from Nador in the last 2-3 years. That one I got it not my last trip, but the trip before. I got it in May last year, and it went to the lab for trimming. And I would rank this piece in the top 5, top 8 of the best. For the last 6 months, they did not find any good ones. It seems that the pocket is now finished, and I was happy to get one last lot. That one is the one who has the rich blue with the thick blade.
Yeah.
They are not as fragile as the other one who has the very thin one and lighter blue.
Oh, these are much thicker than the usual ones. And it is really a nice contrasting matrix.
Yeah.
Most are not sitting so nicely.
Yeah.
Then you got the fluorite that one cannot avoid to snow.
Yeah.
Which makes France one of the top nations for fluorite production.
Yeah,
fluorite quality, I should say.
Well, I can agree with you.
If not the top.
Yeah.
The Brits will fight that, but...
So that one comes, I'm sure you know, from the Aiguille Verte.
Yes.
Aiguille Verte is one of the 82 peaks at more than 4,000 meters in the Alps.
Yes.
And in 2004, some Strahlers made a fantastic discovery. They found what I consider as maybe the best ever cleft in the Alps, because it has produced in quantities and in qualities some amazing fluorite.
I fully agree.
They get the real strong peak color, and the size of the crystals was unusual for the Alpine fluorite from France, from Chamonix.
And most people are not really aware, but these are all the best clefts. They are up in vertical cliffs, 3,600, 3,800, almost up to 4,100 meters.
Yes. And people must realize the risk that the Strahlers take to get this species. It's a mix of patience, but of craziness too.
Yeah, usually they stay in the refuge on high altitude, and they go off 2-3 o'clock in the morning to reach the site. And to dig before 11 o'clock, if the sun reaches, it starts melting and stones start falling.
Exactly.
And then it's too dangerous to be in the spot. Yeah, nice piece.
Yeah.
And in fact, often you see them trimmed down. I think this has its attraction that is in fact kept as it is.
Yeah. I really like the piece because it's typically the kind of mineral that I like, with the separate crystals on the matrix,
that's
with the
top
contrast.
when you can get that beautiful contrast.
It has a good color, it has a good luster. And then Bolivia. Some of the species are fresh stuff, the cassiterite.
Yeah.
They have a really fantastic
crystals.
And fantastic luster, transparency. And also I was lucky because I got some pieces in collection, but in Bolivia. one guy was keeping some pieces, and for instance, this Faberite and quartz.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the Faberite has really a superb, superb luster. Look at the
Very
face
nice.
here, if you want to handle it.
One of the beauties.
Yeah, that one is
And
from
labels coming off.
from Kami Mine.
Whoa. It gets
Take
heavy
it.
with those large. I know.
So
nice group.
Appetites all around.
Yeah, appetites in here.
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
white ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy ore.
Yes.
But the cassiterite, I can see here, I don't know if it's visible in the camera, but they're quite transparent.
Yes,
Maybe we could take this out to show.
Yes, they are translucent.
Yeah, translucent, I should say.
Yeah. Let me maybe find a maglite.
You can see on the small crystal,
Flashlight.
you can see this one is in fact transparent, really.
You see?
Wow.
You can see it's translucent, like. Yeah, the quality is really good.
Yeah, very high quality.
Yeah. Last summer, or maybe even a little before, in May, they found some amazing Freibergite from Bolivia. I will show you. I see you picked up one.
Wow, that's already sold. You don't have to.
Yes, it is sold.
That is sold.
It's yeah, it is sold. Okay, I remove the base.
Put on another zero.
Okay.
Focus on the pocket.
No, it's a super cute piece.
I don't collect pyrite, but this one is very cute for the morphology,
yes.
so that's gone.
Usually I don't.
Sorry.
Usually I don't collect miniature, but when I saw this one, I just bought it immediately.
Yeah. I was in one mineral conference where there was not much to buy, and I bought 2 pyrites because of the complex morphology. So.
It comes from the famous Vizy locality in France, in Isère, who produce this very special quartzes, who has a special color and brightness too.
And with the siderite. And
yes.
I tried, I saw these Stralers who collect them, and I tried to find a small perfect piece, but
yes.
impossible.
Yes.
This is
because
really
we are keeping the best one.
Of course they have a few, but
and actually that piece belonged to the Strahler, to the miner who found the piece, Sylvain Desfarges.
Yes.
They found with de Bodina, with Grégoire de Bodina, this pocket in 2004 in the famous cleft Le Trou des Chasseurs in Vizy. And when they split the lot, Sylvain Desfarges kept this piece. And I was happy to be able to get the piece.
Yeah, they're very, very pristine, brilliant, luster, clear, very nice, and the shape, morphology is beautiful. So, let's get to the hot stuff here.
Yeah, I told you there was a major find of Freibergite.
Yes.
From Bolivia, and take it. And I got. It was one of the very best from the old pocket. In size, it's probably the best Freibergite ever.
Yeah.
And that one is with stanite, randorite, gemsonite, and frankieite. It comes from Melgajero mine in Potosí department in Bolivia.
Beautiful, really, really good. Did you have it photographed yet?
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff did a.
I need that photo.
Yes, Jeff did a photo of the piece.
Good.
And really, it's a major find.
No, that's a
for
major.
the Freibergite. It make a new standard. And speaking about top miniature, I've got one last thing to show you from the Alps. As a gem and beryl collector, okay, just a miniature, but I think you will know immediately what it is.
Yeah, we know what that is. It was the origin. The first find, they said it was from Val Millar, just to divert attention, but it was in fact from Val Juve. So it was named Millarite, but it was found not in Val Millar, but in Val Juve. That's a super beautiful crystal. Very sharp, good size, because Miller writes, you can find big, but usually not so beautiful in the matrix.
With chlorite inclusions and on a bavenite matrix.
Yeah, and the matrix is very cool itself. It's rich.
Jeff did a really superb photo of the piece too. Yeah.
Great.
The piece was found in 1990.
Yes. Beautiful. That's lovely. One of the sweet miniatures of the show for sure.
Yes.
That's great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Peter.
In 1 hour,
thank you, Bryan.
People storming.
Yes. Yes.
It's always good to see you.
Good to see you, Peter. A pleasure to see you again in Tucson.
Yeah. So we have here one of the top German dealers who is always coming to Tucson and bringing classic things, not only from Europe, from all over the world, but you got a couple of top European pieces we'll look at.
Yeah.
One to start with, right up here.
Yes, this is a fantastic cluster of St. Andreasberg calcite.
Very big group and
the
one
typical
of the many, many
Kanonenspat.
types.
Yes, you can hold it if you want. You know, you touch it, you buy it.
Yes, if I touch it, I already bought it. Yeah, one of the many morphologies in St. Andreasberg.
Yes, and you see the specimen is completely perfect terminated.
Yes.
Yes, very typical way, and the size of the specimen is
Do you have
amazing.
any idea when it came out?
Normally, these specimens came out between 1890 and 1920, something around that. Yes, and typically it is accompanied by less galena. So this is the evidence for the origin for this specimen, because there are some
little
similar Mexican calcites, but this is very, very typically.
Thank you very much.
Here there is already classic chrysocolla from Chile, a very colorful
Inca de Oro, covered with quartz.
Yes, and undamaged specimen. This is also very contrastful Buronite, about 150 years old, from the Harrods Food Mine.
Nice, beautiful.
A very classic specimen from the United Kingdom. Here, completely covered with acicular pink crystals.
Yes.
A very, very beautiful specimen, very unusual.
You got even 2 pieces of them, 2 specimens. Oh.
Yes, they are fit together.
Yes.
This is a specimen we hide it for some years from the Wilkie collection.
Yes.
This is a cube octahedral, totally transparent, pink fluorite with a typical Harz Mountain fern of calcite. The specimen is totally undamaged. It's nearly a floater, you see. Also, this is has not any damage. This is recrystallized.
Very unusual, large, beautiful. The color is very unusual.
Yes.
But that's a big surprise here, I must say.
It's probably the best pink fluorite of Germany.
Yes, I bet it is.
Very probably.
It's
Also,
a very good specimen.
You can hold it.
Yeah, it's a lovely one from the Mogul mine.
Yep. From this probably onlyest find, I think.
Yeah. Very sweet. Sharp crystals, nice contrasting matrix.
Yeah.
Very few pieces around.
Very few. It's one of the first I ever saw.
Yeah. And you have the exact mine name, which is nice. So.
Yes, it's definitely from the exact mine. You can. It's not very delicate. It's from the Dr. Jan collection. He was manager from the pharmacy in the 70s and 80s. He brought a lot of good stuff. That's a Japanese chalcopyrite.
Yeah.
A very old one.
Not often you see them nowadays.
From the Oppo mine.
Yeah.
This is something very rare and very cool, especially in this quality.
Yeah. Nice contrasting matrix, good crystals.
Yes. No dings.
No, beautiful one.
This is the best color.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Look here, with a beautiful phantom in the back. Double phantom. You see?
Very nice.
You see here?
Yeah.
Very good.
Sweet
specimen.
piece.
Yeah. So you like to see something from the back room?
Of course. Love to.
My beautiful wife will show you a fantastic silver. Come on. A fantastic Himmelsfürst silver.
Thick wires, thin wires.
Yes.
Big piece. So this is one of the best ones you've had.
The best.
Yeah.
The best we ever had, yes.
I'm not touching it.
You can, no problem. They are not delicate.
No, I know they're not delicate. Beautiful wires.
Okay.
Great to see you. So good luck at
Great
the show.
to see you too. It was a pleasure to meet you. Yes.
Good morning, Liz. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Well, very good. Good to see you.
Thank you. This is new for me, so I will do my best.
Oh, you're always great.
So I like being behind the camera, doing the scenes back there. So.
So do you have any holy cows for us to see here?
I think we did manage to get a few holy cows this time. We, Wayne and Donna, have a lawyer that unfortunately passed away about 10 years ago, and we've acquired his collection. And he was no one that anybody knew, or they can pin the pieces down, but when they see the pieces, they are just amazing pieces because they're classics.
Very good.
So let me show you some of my new holy cows, as I say.
That's a very, very nice emerald.
This is
Beautiful.
my first little emerald here, and this, of course, is Muso, and just find one in this matrix that is real and not been put in the matrix. It's really amazing.
That's beautiful. Huge crystal and very, very gemmy. Beautiful.
Yeah, very gemmy. The matrix is unusual. People aren't used to this matrix, but if you remember the collector James Horner, he had a twin crystal in the same matrix. So it's
very solid vein, and it's amazing that the crystal is so perfect in this hard vein, that it came out perfect.
It's bright color and nice and large.
That's lovely. Really, really sweet.
So he liked really big pieces.
Wow.
This is our very nice little aqua. And as you can see, the clarity and everything is wonderful about it. Very good termination. Again, most of these are in 25, 35, and some up to 40 years old.
Yes, and from Marambaya, it even has some muscovite, because many of them on the back side here you can see it's just some muscovite. But it's beautiful, and of course many of the Brazilian ones, they go more towards the green color range.
They don't have this nice color.
Yellow. That's very unusual and very long and beautiful.
Yeah,
very pristine crystal.
Looks like a little baseball bat, works perfect.
Very unusual.
And of course this one.
Old Pedernera.
Old Pedernera.
Yeah.
And
most people haven't seen those. I mean, Pedernera was mining for a long time.
And actually,
before.
if I grabbed a flashlight, you can see the clarity of it.
Yes.
If you want to hold that, I'll grab a flashlight a second. The
nice coloration on the termination also.
Yeah. So you see the
blue.
Yeah, you see that nice blue, and then you get the tips with the pink and a green topping on them, which is very, very unusual. So
nice. Also, it's a nice group, and then the side crystals at the bottom is beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful all around.
Yeah, it has no bad areas on it, so it shows it's very showy, all 360 degrees. This is just basically a big ass tourmaline. I mean,
Santa Rosa mine, 1960 somewhere.
Yeah, this one is absolutely fabulous. I'm not going to grab it out of there because I've lifted it too many times because it weighs about 35 pounds.
Yes.
And I can tell you an interesting story of the Santa Rosa mine is my ex-father-in-law in 1969 bought a pocket of Santa Rosa.
Okay.
Mortgaged the house for $17,000.
Oh, that's cool.
And so this one's worth a little more than that now, but it is a terrific piece. It does have a natural crack but has never been repaired. As you can see the backside, and this was before all of the fancy cleaning and stuff, so this has never been cleaned. None of these pieces I've shown you, we only acquired them 5 days before the show.
And most of the ones from Central Asia, they have a red interior, they are darker green.
This actually has a blue interior.
Blue, oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, if I lift it up, you can see it has that royal blue in the center. So that's pretty cool too. Bill and Elizabeth Molar have been friends of Wayne and Donna's for probably 45 years.
Yes.
And this is one of their signature pieces from their collection. This beautiful bonita white, and
very good
for a
size
small
of the
miniature
crystals.
and such large crystals, it's exceptional. And what's really nice is the naturalite is so thick on it that it really shows off the bonita white.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Beautiful.
It has no repairs on it, and is just what you really want to see when you look for a bonita white. Because the crystals stand up straight, and most of the time you get bonita whites where the crystals are flat down and they just don't have.
All are laying down in the vein.
Yeah, they sleep a lot. So these are actually wide awake and standing up, and
They sure is.
they're happy. This one is another exceptional one, but again, one crystal
Very
stands
gemmy.
up, but this came from the lawyer. So again, all brand new pieces and some naturalite in here, neptunites, and I think there is also a couple of joaquinites in this particular one. So this is another piece from the Bill and Elizabeth Molar collection, and this is old Sweet Home.
From the old days, back in the 60s.
Really old days. You can see the clarity of the crystals, very good luster. A lot of the rhodochrosites you have, and of course quite a few of the others I have in inventory are not as good as this one. A lot of them will have a secondary growth on the crystal.
Beautiful luster, really.
So the
really
luster
nice.
in this is just wonderful.
Absolutely.
It's a very showy piece, and it's a nice size for most collections. It has a beautiful spray of crystals, and the clarity, no damage in the crystals again. So you have a beautiful clarity, and you can see through the tips of all the crystals, which is really nice.
Very unusual in that size of crystals.
Yeah,
It's
normally
exceptional.
again you get those very short squatty crystals, but these are very elongated. And this is another piece that, you can see how it leans forward, and you see all the crystals. There is no damage on the back either.
Very
so
nice.
it's very, very exceptional.
Fantastic
That's
group.
a great piece too. It has an exceptional single crystal in the back. It's not one that appeals to everybody.
No,
But it takes a special collector who is after it for minerals and not trophies.
That's a very good one in the matrix. There.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good mineral. Not everything is a trophy rock, but this is a trophy for the people collecting this. Have this one, of course. That luster on that, isn't that amazing?
Very nice.
Great crystal habit. Again, perfect size, and it has that nice three-dimensional shape.
And even within those pockets, they found the shape, morphology, and the color was grading over to others. You could see in the same pocket several different
So you get several
morphologies and colors.
Yeah, and this one's wonderful because you do have just, is that perfect size specimen for a lot of
Fits perfect
people.
with the other green.
Which the nice curvature in the crystals, that's that
beautiful
color
up
that
here.
everybody wants. And you have a spray of nice large crystals across the top that go into the smaller crystals, but it just has that color that many people really are looking for. And again,
have a look at that.
Yeah, you don't find these very often anymore, especially in that. Again, not repaired.
Exactly, which is very rare for any of the longer crystals.
Absolutely. So many of them are repaired. Again, slight cracks in it, never repaired, never been through a cleaning process. So with all the cleaning techniques nowadays, you can do, any type of little crack in a crystal, you can make it disappear and like it was never there. And it's just nice to have them where they don't even have any repairs. That's really
It's
spectacular.
one of the greatest tourmaline localities in the world. They produce a huge number, but it's pieces like this are very rare. With the beautiful Clevelandite, lepidolite, beautiful group.
Yeah, and the Clevelandite is
Perfect.
really white, and you get the nice little
Large-bladed.
lepidolite on it, but the bright white It's wonderful.
That's super. Thank you very much.
Those
blue, even blue color here, green.
Yeah, those all came again from the lawyer.
Yes.
Which some of them are absolutely so cool. So you get a doubly terminated tabular crystal, and all terminated.
Very gemmy.
Very gemmy pieces. Originally, they would take all of these and cut stones at them because they are so clean. All the crystals are
Cruzeiro
clean.
says, Cruzeiro Mountain. There's the Cruzeiro and Arikanga. Could be from either of the veins. It says Cruzeiro, very possibly.
Yes. Another one, large cerandite crystals.
Very big group. Usually you see,
very
single crystal.
Yeah, you see little baby crystals quite often, not the large crystals like this. Again, the luster's very nice, large crystals. So the color is more of a salmony pink. It's not really a pink or so it has a little bit of a salmony tone.
Yep.
But such a pretty color.
Yes, it is.
This is a exceptional calcite.
Yep.
And this was recently in Wayne and Donna Light's collection. They have a beautiful English suite, and he kind of went overboard in calcites. So,
it's a very, very good one. Beautiful.
The color, again, very three-dimensional.
I've looked at every piece in the British Museum in all the drawers 2 times.
Yeah, and this originally came out of the Philadelphia Academy of Science.
I can imagine.
When we bought that collection. So this is one he kept because it was so wonderful. Again, this is a really, really old one. This one's
you can see from
out of the
color.
Molar collection. That was another one from their collection, but the color, that bright, bright green, again, very seldom see it.
So in the old days, you had that bright green in some here, and even before that, you had some of the yellow also in the crystals.
So you get the yellow with it, absolutely.
Lovely.
You get that nice sheen on it, so you're getting almost a cat's eye effect in this particular one.
Fast growth and this.
So it's really fun to see these, and goes green to the tip again.
Yep.
Which is really nice. Well, I took it out to the chrome shop, before I came.
Yeah, you did. You can get a nice
I was chroming
photo
some
of yourself
bumpers,
there.
so I just,
You can use that as a mirror and make it nice. That's really fantastic.
Isn't that fun?
It is very
But
good.
it does. It looks like it just came straight from the chrome shop. It's so beautiful.
It's almost only in South Africa that you could get towards this quality, except for here,
Yeah,
It's
it is
unbelievable.
wonderful.
It's a very large quartz with a beautiful anodized coating, which is primarily from one side, and you can see on the back side completely
beautiful
sheer.
clear quartz on the other side.
Yeah.
Again, this came from the Molar collection.
Yes.
And it was very well known. In
Good
fact,
choice.
I got 2 phone calls of people wondering if this was going to be part of the group, and I look forward to seeing them here to look at it.
Large.
Beautiful twin.
Yeah.
And you don't see those very often like that. And you see the back side.
Yeah, very nice growth.
So that's again, Molar collection. They just had some amazing, amazing pieces in their collection. This is something that most people would never guess. And it's...
From
it
Sri
is-
Lanka.
Yeah, it's world class. It's not for somebody who wants all brightly colored things.
No.
But it is an amazing, amazing piece.
Yeah.
And
Very sharp, very well
sharp,
developed.
very lovely piece. But again, most
In
people would
calcite.
walk by it and it wouldn't set them off in any way because it's black. So
It is.
it's not red or all those brightly colors.
Take it for what it is,
And this particular topaz here is from Russia. And I
Yes.
think you said you know exactly where it is.
Yeah, this is top secret. I'm not telling anyone. I know exactly where it is. That's true.
But it's fairly large for Russian topaz, and it's
Yes, it
pretty
is.
clean crystal and nice sharp edges.
Yeah, you don't see them much anymore because this was found, in fact, mined in 1850s. So they found some great big 30 kilo crystals, but for sale, I've seen a couple only through the years. So it's
Yeah, so-
very rare.
So we're really happy to get this. But
Oh, that's beautiful.
when we saw that it was actually traded to the Russian Museum, and what we figured out is he had bought quite a few golds from us.
Yes.
And so we had bought most of the golds back, but the largest one was missing. So
This
we
came
have
from the
figured
Faszination
out.
Museum.
Yeah, so it now is at the Russian Museum, and he got this piece instead.
Yeah, good.
So,
well, thank you so much for showing
thank
all
you.
these beauties.
It was a pleasure, and I hope I didn't screw up too badly.
Hi, Peter. Hi, Steve. Thanks for coming in today. Great, and I can already see what you've been doing this year.
Yes,
two
sir.
of the finds I see right here, two of the greatest things at the show.
Thank you very much. We've been very fortunate this year. Each year, we work with landholders in South Dakota in the Elk Creek area to harvest beautiful barite crystals on calcite, on bright yellow calcite, from huge concretions that occur in the area around the Elk Creek, Meade County, South Dakota. And they have to open hundreds, literally hundreds of concretions to find just a few specimens that are worthy to sell at the Tucson show each year. And so we work with rancher in the area that has the land. These large concretions, sometimes 3 foot across or more, weather out of the country rock, and then they have to be carefully opened. They would hit them with sledgehammers and try to crack these things. Well, barite has a nice cleavage and it'll pop right off the matrix. So now we use diamond edged chainsaws and diamond bladed saws to cut into the concretions and cobble them down into a workable size. And then they come back to the Collector's Edge Laboratory in Golden, Colorado, and we trim them into these incredible specimens such as this. And you can see the high luster and clarity of these beautiful barite crystals.
Great color.
And the color contrast with the yellow calcite that also forms within the open spaces of these concretions is just amazing. And you know, most of the time when you think of a pocket formation of crystals, you in your mind you think of a geode where it's somewhat regular in form. But these internal cavities within the concretions are real tortuous. They're not just one large open pocket. They're twists and turns, and it's very difficult for our preparation staff to trim these out of the large concretion and then isolate these where you don't have any broken crystals or any contacting with the other side, because the openings are very twisty, turny within these huge concretions.
The luster is exceptional.
Yeah, the luster,
color, of course, and the shape.
The gemminess, it's a real golden amber color on the barite and a nice pleasing yellow color on the calcite. So they make stunning specimens. And these things are a limited edition because of nature. Every year we try to go out and spend about 3 weeks, 4 weeks harvesting the concretions, and then it takes us months to get the specimens out. And so there'll never be a huge quantity of these specimens. They're fairly a small, isolated group every year that come out, and people can be fortunate enough to add this American classic to their mineral collections.
It's one of the greatest barite localities in the world.
Yeah.
Then we got the Chinese masterpiece here.
Yes, it really is. I love the color contrast with this. You know, this has been one of the hits of this show and has been really popular for about the last year. There have been a series of pockets found, and this is not from an operating mine. These are little adits going into the side of this area in between Daoping and the Yangshuo mine in Guilin Prefecture in Guangxi Sichuan Autonomous Region. Hard for me to say.
Yeah, it's not so easy.
Not so easy.
We should say it's plumbogomite. It's replacing pyromorphite. And they're exceptionally large crystals. Even, you know, if we look at old localities, plumbogomite by itself is beautiful. You have tiny, small crystals like the old British ones. So this is fantastic. And I think these new pieces that are showing both are just marvelous.
It really is astounding. You look at the size of the crystals, the preservation in these. There was a series of pockets found. The very early ones about 1.5 years ago were very heavily solution etched. And over their mining, they've encountered some that had a better preservation of the altered crystals from the pyromorphite to the plumbogumite. And the very last pocket that was found, which is represented by this piece, there's also another piece over here in this case where just the very tip of the crystal And there's a couple of them in this case where it really shows the underlying pyromorphite, the unaltered pyromorphite, and then just a little bit of alteration at the terminal surfaces to the plumbo-gummite. And so it makes a striking color combination with the baby blue of the plumbo-gummite and the really bright yellow-green of the pyromorphite. Just lovely specimens. One of the earlier pockets also had exceptionally good preservation of the terminations. These were hoppered pyromorphite crystals up to about 2 inches in length, and they're just perfectly preserved in their transformation from pyromorphite into plumbo-gummite.
Yeah, I think this is one of the greatest finds, really the last year or even years.
Yeah,
there are many great finds.
Yes.
This from Badakhshan, it's very good luster on it, because usually typically they are broken and shattered and not so good color.
Yeah, this is a really cool piece because it's got several colors represented, almost a brownish red at the termination, the nice pink, and then a very thin blue cap and some green in there as well. The little albite feldspar and the quartz associated with it. It's just really a jewel of a specimen. Yeah, really nice and gemmy. Isn't that stunning?
Yes, it is.
A little bit of green at the top and the indicolite.
Maybe I'll even lift it up and get some light behind it here. Yeah, green at the top and more blue.
It's just a stunning specimen. This is out of our most recent pocket, large pocket, and just a stunning red-orange color.
That's the red lead mine.
It's the red lead mine, and we've been there now for 4 years or so mining, producing many specimens, but specimens like this are a real treasure. There are not that many that come out with this sort of preservation of the terminations and the pin cushions of beautiful crocoite needles on matrix. We have our little golden eagle here. This is out of the Colorado quartz mine, found a couple years ago. Just incredible preservation of the octahedral crystals on this, and just formed this nice little flying eagle.
Sweet.
Yeah. And this is from the La Marina mine. We've been working very closely with the mine owners on this. We have gone down with the mining equipment and taught them how to use the hydraulic splitters and other tools, diamond chainsaws, to try to harvest more of these euclase crystals.
And they're mining for emeralds there.
They're mining for emeralds, but they've encountered really lovely, bright pink apatite crystals in association with these lustrous, gemmy euclase crystals. And we've gotten specimens from small cabinet, I would say, up to about 4-inch tall clusters of euclase crystals, to miniatures, and then some lovely thumbnails. This came from the Bob Whitmore collection.
Yes, what I will show is, because this I know very well, it was a pocket that was discovered in January 2014. And with the chief geologist, I'd always, since '95, I've been speaking about we should try to find a pocket with topaz in situ. So the chief geologist and another geologist, when we hit this, they call this Peter's Dream Pocket, because I've been speaking about that.
Right.
But it was, in fact, the only pocket of 1,500 that had topaz in matrix.
That's cool.
And the Zinwaldite is very good. And this may be the best matrix of its size on Clevelandite.
Well, I love this piece because it really, a lot of these crystals I've seen were not as intense a blue color. This has a really strong blue and bicolor with a little bit of reddish brown in them as well. So it's a really fine piece.
And this find hasn't been described, so I am the chief geologist. I intend to write an article about the find with great pictures in the MR. And
that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
I cannot help to have a look at this one, because it's a very beautiful Jeremedjevite. The termination is exceptional.
Right.
So now it's about a decade ago, they, not only in mile 72, but they started finding in Irango.
Right.
And this is a very nice one. Large one, color is good.
Yeah.
It's happened to be one of my favorite pegmatite species.
Yeah.
The chemical compositions suggest that you should find it everywhere, but you do not.
Yeah. And that's a really fine little
That's
crystal.
a very, very fine one.
Yeah. Isn't that special?
Yes.
And it really is one of my favorite pieces in the whole collection. You've got a little bit of underlying green in the fluorite, but this really strong pink of the Spinel Law twin fluorite is just exceptional. On the matrix with muscovite and aquamarine beryl. Just a lovely piece. This is a new find for us as well, and this one is again from Pakistan, but really fine form on the hydroxyl herderite. And you've got some nice gemminess in that, and a pleasing kind of lime green color.
Very nice.
Very beautiful piece. It's amazing the wonders that are coming out of Afghanistan and Pakistan. The gem species are just astounding.
And there are many rare, like this many of the rare species, they come in exceptional quality. You see, sometimes you have something hidden in the back, so may I see if there is something nice in there?
Let's take a look. Yeah. This is a treat that I don't get very often.
Perfect.
To hold two really classic rhodochrosites in my hand, one from the Schwanning mine in South Africa, and then a classic specimen from the pincushion pocket at the Sweet Home mine. But
very
you
nice
see the greatest rhodochrosite localities in the world, and side by
fully
side.
agree.
It's fun to have those to take a look at. We were talking earlier about the burls. Here's another really exceptional example.
Now I show you, if you look at this one, this is heavily etched, as you can see. So some of these were in fact found under topaz, which means that when the topaz is forming, it's usually dissolving the beryl. So it's very rarely that the beryl is etched.
Interesting. I was wondering about the chemistry.
You can see from the shape, this was almost etched up. I'm having one of these crystals photographed for an article where it's almost eaten up in two spots completely. So it's very unusual. It's very rare, in fact, with this shape, as you can see, heavily etched.
Yeah.
It's very cool locality.
And nice termination.
And each pocket has different etching, so they're not the same at all.
In this one, we get a number of things from Namibia, and this is a really cool piece of shadokite. Yeah. Shadokite with malachite. And this is from the Cockevel Plateau. We do a lot of funding of mining in the area. And each year we get a big shipment. We got one about 3 weeks before the Denver show. And this was one of the little pieces in the discovery.
Sweet combination.
Yeah, sweet combination. And that a lovely piece.
That's a lovely,
stunning little thing.
Absolutely stunning.
And the good thing is we'll have more to show down at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show.
I'll be there.
Thank you so very much.
We'll
it's a pleasure seeing you, Peter.
It's a great day for you. You've got the best of your collection on display here at the Westward Look, and there's been an awful lot of nice things said about it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, some of the things in that collection were in my old collection.
That's right.
Very few. I think we counted 8?
Yeah.
8 specimens.
Out of 100.
Yeah. And every specimen in the case has a story behind it. Tell me about the Growly wolfenite, for instance, that you had to dig yourself.
Okay, well, I was in the mine in 2004 with my collecting partner for that trip, Jim Ricker.
Okay.
And we were in a really productive zone for wolfenite, and I was digging away and popped a rock off the ceiling with my chisel and exposed this large pocket of wolfenite, and I marveled at it, and I said, Jim, take a look at this. And I told him, Jim, we got to get this out in one piece.
Yeah, sure.
So we spent the next several hours and on into the next day extracting the entire pocket, which became a 50-foot rock that I hauled up the shaft myself.
50 pounds.
And about 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And had it prepped later and turned into the wonderful piece there that you see.
Yeah.
So that was an exciting,
very
exciting couple of days.
When I turned my collection over to you, it was an international collection. And,
right.
Specimens from all over the world, Mexico especially. And you've turned it into one of the best Arizona collections going.
Thank you.
How long did that take?
Well, it was a long process that took many years. I took the worldwide collection, and first I broke it down into sub-collections, Sumab, Arizona, Mexico, England, Germany, you probably remember, and got rid of a lot of the worldwide stuff. But each sub-collection, as I focused more on Arizona, each sub-collection eventually got sold to pay for
or traded
for Arizona pieces until finally just the Arizona portion remained, and which has now expanded into over 1,000 specimens,
Is that big, huh?
including display pieces and reference specimens. So,
well, you've certainly turned what was a nice collection into a great collection. You really have.
Well, couldn't have done it without you.
I don't know about that. There were many times you've made a trade when I've gone, oh, did he do that? But the result's always been good. Yeah.
Well, there were a couple times when you sold something and I said, oh, why did you sell that?
Hey, that's how a collection grows. You do what you have to do at the time.
You have to do it.
You hope the end result is good.
A collection is a living entity.
Yeah.
Things come in, things go out. It grows, it expands, and hopefully gets better. And it's a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. One of the specimens in there is an azurite rose. It's about the size of a small softball. And I traced the history of that, finally. It's one that I had for a long time. And I think it came from a collection owned by a man named Fairchild Wheeler, who was an associate of J.P. Morgan. And the way I got that was that a friend of mine went into a house that was being torn down, and there was a basket of rocks there. And they were going to go to the dump. And he asked if he could have them. Yes. And I happened to see those at his house later. And his wife had that in a planter with some flowers or something, and I wanted to buy it. And he said, well, no, my wife likes the color next to her flowers. But I finally bought it. I was able to buy it for $50, and there it is. And it's a wonderful
That's a heck of a story.
Yeah.
But the quality of the specimen, speaks to the provenance. The J.P. Morgan history. It makes sense that he would have supplied specimens of that quality to this Dr. Wheeler,
quite well,
who lived in Connecticut.
Yeah. Now you've got some things that are really rare, like the paramalaconite. I mean, you look at it and say, it's a little black thing.
Sure.
But tell me about that. When did that come out of the ground?
Well, the type locality for paramalaconite is Bisbee.
Okay.
They were first discovered in 1891. It was recognized as a new species at that time, and really only a few specimens were found. There are only 4 or 5 important examples from that early discovery, and this small piece is the only one in private hands. This one that I've got.
The rest of them are in museums.
The rest are in museums. This one was in the collection of William S. Vaux.
Oh, really?
Who bought it who bought it from A.E. Foote in 1893. The Vaux collection in the 1950s went to Bryn Mawr College, and later on in the 70s, Rock Courier made a trade with the college and got the paramalaconite and some other things. From there, it went to Jim and Dawn Minette. And when the Minette collection came on the market 10 or 12 years ago, I was able to purchase the piece. So it's for an Arizona specialist who loves Bisbee and the mineral history of Bisbee. That's an important acquisition.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah. Well, Foote used to come out here on fairly regular trips to Bisbee and Morenci, places like that.
That's correct.
Yeah. Now tell me about the aquamarine. Everybody finds aquamarine somewhere else, but Arizona?
Right. Well, there's an area in Graham County called the Santa Teresa Mountains, and there are muralitic cavities in the granites up there, which for years have been producing quartzes, epidotes, fluorites, feldspar, that sort of thing. But one pocket of aquamarine was found maybe 10 years ago. And this piece is the best specimen from the pocket. Ever since that one pocket was found, many people have searched for other pockets of aquamarine up there, but they haven't found any. So it's really quite unusual. Arizona's not known for its gem crystals or its pegmatites, really. So that's an important, one-of-a-kind piece, really.
What I like about the display here is that you've been able to put in spectacular specimens, but also rare things from unusual localities. That, you know, you look at it and say, oh, that's nice. But then when you read the label, it's from some weird place. My gosh, where's that from?
Of course, Arizona has a long history of mining and many, mineral deposits. Some of them unknown to many collectors. So what I try to do is not collect just the trophy rocks from the well-known localities, but to get the best examples I can from ore deposits and specimen localities that are not as well known.
Little known,
and some of those are quite good. They're quite spectacular, but so that's what you're seeing there, and very rare.
It's a great mix.
Well, look at the lead mines at Tiger, for example. That locality produced hundreds of species of very rare mineral species.
Sure.
So that's one of my favorite locations. So
I know you've got a great lead halite.
Yeah, there are a lot of pieces in there.
The classic from there is the mix of cerussite, dioptase, and wolfenite. A lot of those came out. But you've got some of the rare things from there, and they're pretty darn showy. Yeah, one of the things that's remarkable about this exhibit is that there are specimens in there. When I mentioned it earlier, when you look at them, well, that's kind of nice, it's a nice quartz or it's a nice something. But then when you read the label, my goodness, where'd that come from? They don't fit the mold. They don't match what they appear to be. They're rare for the locality. And some of those are just, they're very surprising.
Yeah, well, the general collector is going to be familiar with wolfenite from the Red Cloud mine, azurite from Bisbee, dioptase from Tiger. But there are so many other locations in Arizona that produced fine mineral species. And in some cases, they look like they should be from somewhere else in Arizona. For instance, the Morenci mine produced azurite crystals every bit as good as what came out of Bisbee. But unless you're an Arizona specialist, it's very difficult to tell the difference. There's a lot of mislabeling that happens. So, it's important to pay attention to that sort of thing.
Among all of the copper and lead specimens there, I see a nice little curling wire silver. Where's that from?
That's from the Surbat Mountains in Mojave County, Arizona, which is northwestern Arizona. Those mountains were dotted with rich silver mines that were worked in the late 1800s. And that specimen came from a very interesting story. I acquired it from a dealer in Phoenix who got it from a fairly elderly gentleman who lived in Kingman, Arizona, and his father had collected it.
Oh, wow.
At one of the silver mines at what's now called Mineral Park in the Surbat Mountains. It's interesting how the fella had it mounted. It was in a bell jar that he made out of an orange juice glass.
Oh, for God's sake.
And then put plaster in a metal cap and stuck the specimen in the plaster and then screwed that onto the stuck it onto the bottom of the orange juice glass, and the wire was stuck up against the top of I had to take that whole thing apart, and but the piece came with it came with a map that went with it, and Mineral Park circled, indicating where the silver had come from many years earlier. So the history of each one of these pieces is really fascinating.
You've got a lot of localities represented there. What's your favorite locality, Tiger?
Well, it's a toss-up. Yeah, it's a toss-up between the Warren District, which is Bisbee, and the lead mines of Tiger.
Yeah. I love the color balance in the display here. You've got blues and greens and oranges and yellows and whites.
Yeah, well,
it's Arizona is famous for its colorful minerals, and you've certainly got a good example of them there.
When lead and copper minerals oxidize, the secondary species are very colorful.
Yeah, that's what you get.
So, and we have those in spades here in the state of Arizona.
Well, you've been collecting now, I won't say how old you are. You started collecting when you were 5 years old. And when I was collecting, I would trim specimens and dump the refuge in the alley behind the house. And I find out he was going out there collecting. So his first collecting was alley collecting behind my house. And now look at this, what you've accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I had my own mineral deposit in the back alley.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah. And you haven't stopped. This is going to continue to grow.
Sure. I'm still actively collecting only Arizona minerals.
Yeah. Well, it's great. I can't tell everybody how proud I am of you. I think they know it. It comes through loud and clear.
Well, thanks, Dad.
We're a great team.
Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it.
I love you.
Love you too.